Marcus Cole had learned to read the road like a book. Every streetlight, every passing car, every tiny flicker of movement in the dark suburbs of Ridgeview City. He kept his music low, something mellow humming from the speakers, helping him unwind after a brutal 14-hour shift. Federal paperwork, witness coordination, non-stop phone calls. The kind of day that squeezes the soul like a lemon. He rolled one hand across the back of his neck, trying to chase away the ache traveling down his shoulders. His SUV smoothly cruised down Maple Ridge Avenue. Houses here were large enough to have names instead of numbers. Overnight delivery workers and gardeners were long gone. The only people awake were the wealthy insomniacs and night patrol cops with nothing better to do. Marcus wasn't in the mood for conversation with either. For just a minute, he let his thoughts drift. He pictured his couch. A cold bottle of ginger ale. Maybe he would watch that cooking show where the host yells at everyone. He didn't usually like shouting, but there was something cathartic about somebody else losing their cool for once. Then the mirror lit up behind him. Blue and red flashed violently across the interior, flooding his calm with cold dread. Two patrol vehicles materialized like wolves from the darkness, pinning him in the center lane. Sirens off. Lights on. A move meant to intimidate rather than alert. Marcus already knew the dance. He eased his SUV to the side, tires rolling onto the curb just slightly before coming to a smooth stop. He cut the engine, took a slow breath, and placed both palms firmly on the steering wheel where they could see them. The position felt like ritual. A survival script passed from generation to generation. A voice boomed from behind him. "Driver, stay exactly where you are." Marcus didn't move. Didn't blink too fast. Didn't reach for anything. He silently cursed how normal this had become. The first officer climbed out. Even from the mirror Marcus could tell he wore that expression, the one that boiled down to 3 ugly words: "You don't belong." The second officer moved with the nervous energy of a rookie trying too hard to look tough. Their flashlights sliced the night, landing directly on Marcus's face like he was prey caught in a spotlight. Marcus kept his breathing steady. "Stay calm," he whispered to himself. The phrase had become a shield he carried everywhere. Boots crunched gravel. The lead cop came right up to the window, tapping the glass with the butt of his flashlight. "Roll the window down slowly." Marcus obeyed. He turned the knob with 2 fingers visible through the opening gap, making every motion exaggerated and cautious, like an actor stuck in a scene where mistakes get people killed. The officer squinted at him. "What are you doing in this neighborhood?" Marcus offered a slow blink. "Driving home." The cop scoffed. "This late?" "Long shift." Marcus didn't elaborate. He knew better than to give them anything extra to twist. "License and registration," the officer barked, though the hostility had already turned the words into an accusation. Marcus reached only after stating clearly, "My wallet is in my back pocket. I'm moving my right hand now." His ID and registration slid out smoothly. The cop snatched them, scanning them with that smug suspicion that said the paperwork could be perfect and he'd still find a reason to doubt it. "So you live around here?" The officer sounded like he was asking how a cat learned to drive. "Yes." "I'm sure that's lovely," he muttered, dripping sarcasm, as if Marcus was guilty of enjoying success he wasn't supposed to have. The rookie hovered on the other side of the SUV, hand already too close to his taser. Marcus stared straight forward, heart steady yet painfully aware that his life sat between 2 fragile egos. He had faced armed fugitives, meth-crazed dealers, violent criminals who felt no fear. None of them terrified him the way a racist cop with a badge could. Home was only 5 minutes away. Tonight, that felt a lot farther. "Officer Daniels." Marcus finally caught the name from the badge, stepped back and tilted the documents toward his flashlight. He took his sweet time reading them, each second dragging like wet cement. The rookie, meanwhile, circled a little closer, eyes darting between Marcus's hands and his face, like he expected Marcus to suddenly turn into a criminal masterpiece. Marcus stared ahead through the windshield. The dashboard clock ticked in neon green digits, 11:42 p.m. He should have been home by now. He should have been halfway through that ginger ale. Instead, his pulse pumped like a slow, steady drum telling him to stay ready for anything. Daniels returned, leaning down again. Government employee, huh? He spoke the words like they tasted bad. What do you do? Marcus kept his voice measured. Administrative work. Daniels smirked. He clearly didn't buy anything said to him. Administrative work gets you a car like this. Gets you a house on Maple Ridge. He whistled low and mocking. Someone's doing well. I work hard, Marcus answered. There was a flicker in Daniels's eyes. Entitlement mixed with resentment, the toxic cocktail that fed these moments. He wasn't questioning Marcus because he cared about the law. He questioned because Marcus had the audacity to thrive. The rookie shifted again, anxiety pouring off him like steam. He kept his hand on his taser as if that alone made him braver. The nervous ones always worried Marcus the most. Fear is unpredictable. Fear shoots first. Daniels tapped the roof twice. Step out of the vehicle. Marcus glanced at him, eyebrows barely lifting. Why? Daniels straightened up like a challenge had been issued. Because we're doing a field check. You match the description of someone involved in a recent burglary. Male. Black. Dark SUV. He snapped his fingers as if the universe had just confirmed his genius detective work. That was the excuse of the decade. Every black man with a car is a suspect, Marcus thought bitterly. Still, he knew the rules of survival. Nothing escalates if you treat the situation like walking on ice, slowly, deliberately, no sudden cracks. I'm going to open the door with my left hand. He narrated every movement like a man disarming a bomb. His voice remained steady even as his stomach tightened. The door clicked open. He stepped onto the cool street, asphalt pressing his shoes flat. Hands out, palms visible, he stared just past Daniels to a street lamp buzzing tiredly, like it too was exhausted by this familiar routine. Daniels walked around him in a slow circle. Hands behind your head. Marcus inhaled through the nose. A quick pulse of memory flashed, his Marshal Academy instructor's words. Keep calm. Control the narrative. Never let anger write the script. Fingers interlocked behind his head, he stood still while Daniels frisked him. Rough hands patrolled pockets, sliding along his back, tapping down his legs. Every touch felt like a reminder that Daniels believed he was less than human. No drugs. No weapons, Daniels muttered, irritation creeping in like he felt cheated of a prize hunt. Marcus almost smiled. If only the man knew. Daniels moved to the rear door and without warning jerked it open, peering inside the SUV. You got anything in here I should know about? Marcus's tone sharpened. That's a search. Daniels waved him off. It's called officer discretion. No probable cause. No consent, Marcus replied. His voice still low, still calm, yet the authority bled through. Close the door. Daniels froze for a heartbeat. He recognized the shift. The subtle but unmistakable sound of someone who knew the law better than he did. The rookie, startled by tension rising, finally spoke up. Maybe we should call this in first, Sergeant. Daniels snapped at him. I got this. Turning back to Marcus, he leaned in close enough that Marcus could smell stale coffee on his breath. Listen, guy. People like you think the rules don't apply when you've got a fancy address and a shiny watch. Marcus stared straight into him now. It's interesting how, people like me, only means one kind of person when you say it. The rookie flinched. Daniels's face twisted, ugly and transparent. The big reveal, this was never about a burglary. This was about putting someone in their place. Daniels grabbed Marcus's arm. The grip was too tight to be procedural. The rookie stepped back fast, nervous hand gripping the taser now like a lifeline. That was the tipping point. Marcus held his ground, voice cool as steel. Officer, I am going to reach into my inside jacket.